All right, here we go with the first lesson. And yeah, so that video you watched on how to practice your lessons, very important for what's on the screen. We're going to be looking at here, as well as my suggestions on how to work on. We're going to work on the "You Are What You Swallow" riff, the one that you played in the video. Figured that's a good place to start. Um, so this video will most likely be a bit longer than most of the lessons because it's the first one. So things to discuss, especially with a lot of the things that you sent. So I'm really big on efficiency when it comes to practice. And when I think of practice, it's more like training. It's training for something. It's not just playing random stuff and whatever. So I guess like practice can mean all kinds of stuff, right? Like I think of like band rehearsal as one type of practice. Trying to improve speed or accuracy on something is another kind of practice. But like the metronome stuff to me, that's like training. We're again going at it like an athlete, going at it with the bodybuilding principles of progressive overload. So like the warm up stuff that you sent over, I know I'll look through it. You can do it if you have fun with it, but I don't feel it's the most beneficial thing because it's not targeted. So, like with weightlifting, bodybuilding stuff, like say you're going to do squats. Like, how do you get warmed up for doing squats? You squat. So, but you like can start with your body weight, then you use the bar, then you add a little bit of weight to the bar, and you basically just add a little bit of weight until you get up to what your working weight's going to be for that exercise. Um, with the metronome approach, the way I have everyone do it, the way I do it myself, basically the way I was taught, I've refined kind of my approach to the metronome compared to how I was taught. I had like an old, like a dial whole metronome with a dial on it where like had preset tempos. You can just put whatever you want. But basically my teacher said just start slow and then just increase the dial 1 or 2 clicks every time you play it right and just work it up like that. And so I did, and it worked out very, very well. But now having a metronome that goes up by 1 BPM, up or down 1 BPM is crucial. So thankfully that is very easy to get nowadays. So I use on my phone, I got one called Tempo Metronome, the one that you see on the screen right now. That's a Windows desktop app. It's just called Desktop Metronome. Um, so what was I gonna say? Right, so playing things for warm-up purposes. So like this guy here, this is going to be the rhythm that we're going to start with this week and see how things go. I do have this tuned down a whole step to match how you had your riff. I put in the chord names as if it was in standard tuning though, because that's usually how we look at things on guitar. You probably already know that considering how long you've been playing and all the stuff that you have done. But yeah, like warming up for this, what do? You just start playing it. And you start at the 60. So yeah, starting at 60, you play this correctly once and then you go up 5 and then you just keep doing that, just bump it up. Every time you play it correctly just once, like that video talked about on how to practice your lessons, just keep going up faster, faster, faster. As you start to feel fatigued, like your arm, your strumming arm or your hand, maybe that starts to feel fatigued, shake it out, give it a little bit of a break in about 30, 60 seconds, maybe. 30 seconds is usually enough. If you get mentally fatigued, then yeah, up to a minute might be necessary. But yeah, that's the warm up there. Like you're starting off slow and then you're gradually pushing it faster and faster and faster. That's the warm up. You don't need to do anything else. Same thing with working on your riff, which we're going to get into. But basically, like, yeah, starting at 90 is too fast. Start at 60 instead. And I'm assuming. Okay, looks like you broke us down. Yeah, we're going to talk about this too, because there's a little tweak I'm going to suggest that will probably make this a lot easier. And let's see. There's 110 you have there, 160. So I'm guessing what, maybe 160. Yeah, 160 is the goal speed, or what the song's supposed to be at. So that's a huge chunk to play. Hang on, I'm going to start drifting off into a tangent here. Basically, just assuming this is the whole thing, yeah, like start it at 60, play it once, bump it up 5. It looks like you're going up in 10. So that's already too big of an increase. It's too big. It's too big of an increase. That's a very common mistake people make, is they try and increase the speed too fast, too soon. It's like when you're trying to add weight to the bar. You got to add the smallest increment of weight you can as you progress. And that doesn't count the warm-up. So I just want to clarify. So, like, with weight training, each day you come back, maybe once or a couple days a week, once a week, whatever, to push your strength, you add a very small amount of weight each time you come back in order to progress safely. With guitar, with the warm-up stuff, like, we're just adding a little bit of speed as we go. We can recover from pushing the speed on guitar a hell of a lot faster versus the weights, so a lot less risk of injury that way. But anyway, with going up slowly is crucial, because we're training our ears along with making it easier to play it all. So we can think less. Like, it's way easier to go from 90 to 95 versus 90 to 100. Often I will suggest going up less than 5 BPM increments. You may have seen that in the Metronome Method ebook already, but that's one of the, like, plateau breaking ideas. Instead of going up in 5, go up in 1s. And often I'll have people do that. I have one student recently comments on how surprised he was how working up sextuplet stuff, 6 notes per click, how much progress he made just by going up in 2 BPM increments versus 5. And his progress just shot way up. So going up in the smallest increment possible is going to yield humongous results. Now, we don't all have time to just work up in 1 BPM all the time, which is like 5 seems like a pretty good amount, but I don't think it's a good idea to go higher than 5. Just based on personal experience from myself and what I've seen with other people. Like, some things, yeah, you could argue going up in 10 is okay. However, it's better to go up less in the long run. So yeah, warming up with this, like, you don't need to do extra stuff to get warmed up for this. This is the thing in question. This is what you need to focus on. Do that. Warm up with that. You don't need any of the other warm-up stuff in order to be warmed up to practice and push this stuff. That's what you need. That's it. That's it right there. So to make things more efficient, I suggest throw out the other warm-up stuff unless you like it. If you like it, you have fun with it, you feel like you're still benefiting from it, go ahead and keep doing it. Is it necessary? Not at all. Not at all. So focusing on what you need to practice, that's the main thing. You're going to get plenty warmed up, gradually increasing that metronome as you work it up, okay? That's all the warm-up you need. So I think you commented on the triplet strumming, a combined strumming and triplet to striplet. You correctly were playing stuff with the, like, the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and that is exactly how you should have been doing it there. Yeah, doing it like that, doing the alternating. Absolutely. So, when you get going faster, keep it nice and smooth. So I just want to point this out because I think you said you believe the proper way of doing it was going to be going like down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. No way. The way you did it was correct. So this way you can hit those speeds, Because can you imagine like trying to do a down, up, down, down, up, down at this speed? It ain't gonna work. Yeah, you have to alternate pick, that kind of stuff. So you were correct in how you were performing that. Alternate strumming, absolutely. So, all right, let's get into the strumming of the rhythm here. So this way we can focus on, improving control as you get going faster and faster, hearing the metronome well. So yeah, start at 60. Every time you play it correct, go up in 5s. And every day you start your session, always start at 60. It doesn't matter how fast you got the day before, always start at 60. Always. Super helpful. This is how we gain control. And yes, your picking mechanics will change as you get faster, but going up slowly, when I say go up slowly, it means, going up in the 5s, you're going to get much more in tune with how your hand and your arm move to play these things. So you can really pinpoint where any weaknesses might be so you can make them better. Biggest thing here is, does it sound good? So I don't want you to worry about so much as like, are you holding the pick to slant, do an upward slant and do the downward escape? Or are you holding it like this so you can do the upward escape? Any of that kind of stuff. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as it sounds good, that's what matters. Now, I say that because I don't want you to worry so much about how your pick is positioned and all that stuff. We're going to work with what you naturally do and try and maximize that. The only time I will, bring up, maybe doing some kind of specific pick slant with anybody is if it seems like how they are holding the pick naturally is causing issues. If it seems like you're not having any issues, then we're not going to worry about it. Doing the metronome stuff, working up metronome things, that's how I developed any kind of two-way pick slanting. I don't know if you got to see that video yet where I talk about how I developed two-way pick slanting. I didn't even know that was a thing until Troy videotaped me, slowed it down, and said, like, you're actually doing this, this, and that. And I was like, I had no idea. I had no idea I was doing all these things. But well, there you go. But yeah, tons and tons of metronome practice and just making sure it sounds good every step of the way. That's how I developed it. I just let my hand and arm do what they needed to do to hit the notes I wanted to play. So keep that in mind. Let things happen naturally as you progress faster and faster and faster. Only when we find some kind of motion that is definitely causing a problem, then we will focus on trying to correct that. But for right now, we need to focus on making it sound good. That's the most important thing. So remember, we're all going to look a little different when we play. I mean, like, I think Marty Friedman is a wonderful example. He's regarded as one of the best guitar players we've ever seen. And yet his picking is bizarre. I will never be able to play like him. I don't need to. Nobody needs to. It's odd. So, yeah, we're not going to tell him, like, no, you're picking wrong. You got to change everything. It works for him. Why bother trying to change that, So, anyway, trying to think of other things. Right. Your thumb picking is exactly what I do. So that was really cool to see. So I love seeing that. That's great. That's going to help play all kinds of intricate things. Those kind of things right there. Because you're moving that thumb like that, which can really help out with subtle little things. So that looks good. So yeah, as you get going faster, you're probably going to notice that different muscles need to turn on, and different movements are going to start happening in order to push those faster speeds. So I think that was another video I sent on like how my mechanics change as I go faster and faster. So you will definitely do the same. Everybody does. That's just how it has to happen. So you might find at the beginning here, just more wrist at the beginning for the strumming. Like for me, when I'm doing this kind of strumming, slower speeds, I'm doing this kind of motion here. Like as I'm stealing this for somebody else. Think like your hand is wet and you're drying it off. So I'll do a lot of strumming like that, especially like, bigger chords. But as I get going faster, I'll end up putting my hand on the body of the guitar so I can use those bigger muscles to keep going faster. So when you need to change what you are using to move, let it happen. Just let it happen. Don't force don't try and force a movement that is slower in order to have perfect form or any of that crap. So what the hell is perfect form? It's nonsense. So anyway, and that's actually talked about in that Obsidian course you found me in, like how I'll change how I'm strumming depending on what the speed is. So I think that's all the big stuff I wanted to cover before demonstrating these things. But yeah, anytime you got questions with the stuff I'm talking about, let me know. When it comes time, next week for you to, record and send things in. So I know you said Thursday is a no guitar day. So just your last practice session on Wednesday, record the whole thing and send that in, okay? Split it up into as many videos as you would like. I definitely appreciate all the effort you did in splitting up all those different things and all those different videos. So that was a nice touch. Made things way easier on me. I appreciate that. So yeah, just if you want to, do one video for this and then another for your riff, that would be fine. But yeah, I like everyone to send in their final practice sessions. So just remember, if you have questions that you want to say in the video, either say it at the very beginning of it or at the end, or even a separate video, because I'm not going to watch the entire thing. And, maybe like, why are you asking me to record the full thing if you're not going to watch it all? Just in case I need it. Every now and then I do need to see more of a full practice session. So basically what I do is I watch the beginning, make sure that starts off okay, jump to the middle, like, is the middle still sounding good? All right, and then I'll jump to the end. How does it end? Does it end correctly? And if yes, then all good. I write the next thing, send it off. If not, because sometimes what happens is I get to the end of the video, things are no longer being played properly. So like, all right, now I got to go back and figure out where does it go wrong. So then I have to start watching more of the video just to see like, okay, well, where is it okay? What speed does it fall apart? And then I can give better instruction on how to fix things and point those things out. And sometimes I'll actually be playing students' video back and pointing out like, okay, this is good here, but here's where needs to be fixed and things like that. So it is important to record the full practice session. It also gives you a better chance of having a better performance as well. So yeah, we're going to start that way. We might change things in the future to like a more abbreviated thing you can submit. But for right now, just to start things out, the full practice session, send it on over. And there we go. Okay, time to play. So yeah, I'm going to stay at this angle for right now so you can see how I'm playing. I got the chord progression here. I like this progression. I kind of think it fits the style of music you guys do, as far as like melodic type of thing. forgot that chord name. Oh no, it's got the... Hold on. You have to tune down all stuff. Okay, there we go. Save. All right, so yeah, we're gonna start at 60, work it up in fives. So what I'm gonna do, I'll count off 4, so you know when I'm gonna start, so you can follow along. And then I'm going to play it at some different speeds. This way you can hear and see how it should be at some of these different speeds. If I went up in fives, especially for everybody, I'd never be done. So I won't be going up in fives, but you go up in fives. Okay, so count of 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Better chord than that. I'm not used to sitting like that. Get myself situated. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2, 3 and a 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 4. 1 Oh yes, and the time limit thing I have for you on this one, forgot about that. 15 to 20 minutes on this guy. And if you max out in less than 15 minutes, that's fine. Basically, once you get to that point of it takes you a minute or two of really struggling to get one more good take, you're done for the day. No need to go further than that. All right, I'll go to 100 next. 1, 2, 3, 4. 141. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 200. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, so I just changed how I'm strumming it. I went from this. I guess I could stay in that position right now. I prefer to if I can. But yeah, as I get going faster, instead of strumming like this, I switch to that. I'll just stick to this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, 220, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 240. Now, if you reach 240, send stuff over early. Yeah, if you get to 240, start recording right away. And then you might get lucky and nail it. Yeah, send it in. Send in early recording at 240. And then no need to do a full practice session. So again, only if you reach 240, send it in early. If not, then do the full session. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Push the damn string off. I hardly ever use this guitar. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. faster if you like. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's plenty. Ooh, okay. So, breaking down this guy. See, I was trying to play it. I don't know how well I was doing. So, one suggestion I got for you. Yeah, I should maybe change the way this looks a little bit. Try and get it on screen better. Come on now. So Guitar Pro can be rather glitchy sometimes. All right, so to make this easier, one thing I did for myself is I changed that part. I know you had that singled out. So I'm assuming you have it set up like that because you just did this. Like maybe you're jumping up there with your middle. I can't remember what you did. That's a pain in the ass jump. I mean, you're going from the low E up to the B string. You're skipping all those strings to get there. That's a pain in the ass. So, see, and then right after that, right, so you're ending on the 8 there. And that does set you up quite well for that part. There's something sticky on the fretboard. Somebody put tape on this and I just took it off because it was bugging me. Yeah, that's gross. Sorry. All right. So, and yeah, maybe you also to set up the notes like that so you can. No. Yeah. Man. So that jump there, I personally hate it. So what I did when trying to play this is I just moved something. And I did this. Oh, what the heck? That was odd. Why did it jump down twice? I played it like that instead. So yes, you do have to jump your hand back down for that. But to me, it's a lot easier to jump into. Damn it, I keep going to the wrong spot. Damn it. Sorry, I do not have this memorized. I only play with it once. So that's going to be one suggestion. If you don't like it, obviously you don't have to do it. But I would change it to that to make it easier in the long run. Because I feel that's much easier to get faster with. Okay, so that's a lot of bars to work up. You definitely can. So one thing I would do, like I'm really big on when you're working something up, end on a downbeat to make it much easier to know you're done. Like, so if you do it with a metronome, then it's easier to line up with that metronome. Of course, if you're doing it in Guitar Pro, you don't have to do it that, end it on a downbeat because Guitar Pro, you're going to hear exactly how it is. But ending on like the transition part is going to be big. So like working on this part into that would be very useful. I don't know if you've done that yet. So maybe not even this. You could just work from that scale run itself. If you wanted to keep it here, that would be good too. Let me see how you ended it in a little spot at the end. Okay, you did end it with the 7. Okay, that's good. That is good. So you're like playing it a bunch right there, and I understand why, because you're trying to get really solid with that. Even still, even with all those repetitions, going up in smaller BPM increments would be the way to go. Again, 10's too big. It's too big of a jump. And that's a lot of repetitions there. I would go for 4 maximum if you want to just troubleshoot that. And that's just to troubleshoot that. So, of course, without this being a one-on-one thing, definitely send, again, write any questions you have with this. So I guess as far as breaking it down, just assuming you needed to, I'll just assume that you need to. I forgot that it ends up playing right there. Oops. Right. Okay, so that's basically the main thing right there. Got it. So working up just those would be great, but even going even further. So that would be good to work up right there. And I noticed that sometimes when you went to the open E that you would do a downstroke, sometimes it would be an upstroke. I would start it with an up when you go to that open E, so this way you're really kind of locked into this 16th note strumming pattern, just 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and then you start back to the A string with the downstroke. And with that song being at 160, I would shoot for at least 170. 180 be even better. So basically just work and do it like this. And go up 5. And then, take it up to, so can I do it? Because, if the song's 160, I probably should look that up, huh? You might actually be playing it faster than it's supposed to be. I should have researched. Let me just look it up real quick. There's your lyric video. So, yep, that's 160. Okay. So shooting for 170 would be best. Or, well, best would be even 180. So my thing is, like, when you have something that's kicking your butt and you get ready for a song, you need to have the individual parts faster than the song in order to be ready for it. So this way, when you are playing it live, it's like, it's nothing now. It's nothing. So taking it up to 170. Can I do it? Yes. So get the 1 bar up. Try working up to 180 too. And if you can go faster, hell yeah, go faster with it. So if you got the time, max it out. Max it the hell out. And then do it for each bar. Do it for each bar. So max that out as far as you can. Max this out as far as you can. Max this out as far as you can. And of course, max that out as far as you can. It would definitely work on just singling that part out like you were. Um, Working it up as eighth notes, that section would also be really good if you feel like you just need extra attention with it. So yeah, just do it as eighth notes, work it up from 60 to at least 240, and then switch over to 16th notes. And of course, going up in fives, great, but going up slower is also good. So what you can do is for like that part, the little scale run, as you go up in fives, when you get to a speed, you notice that things are starting to feel a bit tricky, starting to get difficult. Slow it down like 10 or 20 beats per minute and then go up in one. So let's say you get to like 140, and 140 is like, yep, this is where this is a trouble spot. And this is a tempo where things are starting to be a real pain in the butt. Drop it to like 120 and then go up in ones from there. Don't start at 120 like for a practice session. Still start at 60, work it up in fives so you can really dial in where you need to go up in ones. That can be very, very helpful approaching it like that. So yeah, break it into smaller pieces if you haven't done so yet. One bar at a time plus the very next note. Very important. Go to the very next notes. This way you get to practice your transitions. And then once you got the individual bar past the speed of the song, then you're going to do 2 bars at a time. And then you're going to do 3 bars at a time. And then, yeah, because you're doing like repetition in here, I'd go that far too. In fact, when I say 2 bars at a time, yeah, you're going to do this, this, and this. So yeah, when you're just doing the 1 bar at a time, you're going to do this plus the very next note, this plus the very next note, this plus the next note, and then this plus the next note. And then when you move on to the 2 bars at a time, so make sure each individual one is past the speed of the song. Past the speed of the song. Once you get one, like say that one is past the speed of the song, you don't need to go back to it. You just need to focus on the next one to make sure that one's past the speed of the song. And then you again work on 2 bars at a time plus the very next note of the next bar. Get those past the speed of the song. All right, so those, the little highlighted things there, that's what I want you to focus on. After you got that, then you're going to work on 3 bars at a time, plus the very next note of the next bar. I know it seems like a lot, but it is super, super helpful. Breaking it down like this makes a tremendous amount of difference. Tremendous amount of difference. You will know your song far better than you ever did, for sure. Yeah, just to that. And then once you can do all that, then you're going to go all 4. And then that's it. And then you can, add more if you'd like. But yeah, so basically 1 bar, then 2 bars, then 3, and then finally 4. And get just that, the 4 bars, again, past the speed of the song. And then, yeah, you can definitely try playing, the full riff twice through past the speed of the song. You can do that. Playing it live is going to be a hell of a lot better. So as far as like, what do you do for, recording and sending that? So yeah, number 1, the one labeled number 1 in the file. Yeah, full practice session with that, unless you get to 240 before, it's time to record and send it in. So yeah, just please send it on Wednesday for you, since you don't record or you don't do guitar on Thursday. And then yeah, I will send over the new stuff on Thursday. Rarely ever do I get to do it on Wednesday. It really depends on if people cancel the lesson and can't make it that day. Yeah. So for this, just wherever you're at, whatever parts you're working on, that's what I want you to record on Wednesday. And that'd be good. And yeah, just let me know, how things are progressing while approaching it this way. And as far as like how long to practice, again, for about like 15 to 20 minutes on this stuff would be good. Like when it comes to really pushing yourself hard, like really trying to go faster and faster and really pushing yourself physically and mentally, no more than an hour is necessary. I mean, after that, like for me, I'm done. I'm spent. Like if I'm really pushing myself hard, I can't keep going very well. It just diminished returns is definitely a real thing. You can only do so much in one day, you know? I wouldn't bother with doing it over and over again the same day. You just max the stuff out that one day, come back the next, and do what you can. I mean, or do another session. So I'm not really big on multiple sessions in the same day where you're really pushing yourself hard because like anytime somebody does that, they really don't get any further anyway. So as far as like, Friday being the bigger practice day for you, I would rehearse the stuff that you need to rehearse, or maybe practice some of the other stuff that you need to. But I think that covers everything I wanted to here. But yeah, moving forward, videos are going to be shorter. You know, we're about past 40 minutes. I was assuming this was going to be a 40-minute video. I was right. So yeah, a lot of stuff talked about today. But as we move forward, we're going to get more dialed in. Videos will be shorter. But yeah, that should help breaking it down like that. Let me know if you decide to approach that scale run the way I like to do it versus the way you had originally done it. I really think it's going to help if you do it that way. It is a bit awkward having to for that, but fuck it, let's try the 190. Hey. Whew. So yeah, it's definitely possible to do, fast that way. Now, if I did it the other way, shit. How was it again? Yeah, it's possible. But this feels so much more comfortable. Anyway, all right, that's it. I'm done talking. I hope that helps. Please let me know if you got any questions, and I will see you again in your new videos.